To be back in the Oval Office as president for the first time today since his last term in 2021.
He and his vice president, Middletown native J.D. Vance, are already busy taking steps to reverse the work of the Biden administration just hours after being sworn in.
Stephen Albritton is in Washington. He's covering all of the events for us and of the inauguration, the transfer of power, and is tracking the first steps for Trump's second term. Stephen, good morning.
He was only in power for really just a couple of hours before President Trump really got to work putting his agenda, putting his campaign promises into action. And one of those has to deal with January 6, 2021. We all remember the visuals of what happened just behind me when thousands of people went over the barriers, over the walls and inside the Capitol after the last election. And you can see those barriers are still up around the Capitol right now, just in case anything were to pop up over the last few days. But what President Trump has done is basically go in on a campaign promise that he has to pardon and commute sentences. He also asked them to dismiss another 450 cases as well. Here's the president.
These are the hostages, approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Yes.
Full pardon.
So a stroke of the pen made that happen. Now, some of those were released from jail or prison overnight. Now, we're still going through all of the names, but we've covered many people from the greater Cincinnati area who were charged or convicted, and that includes a man from Harrison. He was just arrested in the last few days. Now, the president also signed other executive orders, dozens of them. One of them would pause Congress's shutdown of TikTok for 75 days. Another would pull the U.S. out of the World Health Organization and the Paris Climate Accord for the second time. And he also cut protections for transgender people, ending as well diversity, equity, and inclusion programs inside the federal government. The president also took major action on immigration as well. A campaign promises his. There's a lot that happened over the last 12 to 24 hours or so, and you can find all of that on WLWT.com.
All right, now, Stephen, what about tariffs? The president has promised to put some impactful ones in place.
A buzzword from not only his administration 4 years ago, but really on his campaign over the last few years. So he has promised to put a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico starting in February, but he has not shared if he plans to do so on China. A lot of shipping goes back and forth between the United States and China. But the thing is, all three of those countries, Canada, Mexico, and China, all said if tariffs are placed on them, they will do the exact same thing in retaliation to the United States. Kelly?
All right, Stephen, probably much more to come today. We will continue to check in. We appreciate the update.
And breaking overnight, the Taliban